In my previous lecture, when I was talking about Soviet socialist realism, I have told you that there is a continuous conflict between the Soviet socialist realist scholars and modernism as a form of art, a form of literature. And this conflict between Soviet socialist realism and modernism had ended in the hands of a German playwright, a Marxist playwright, and he is none other than Bertolt Brecht. Many scholars pronounce his name as Bertolt Brecht. Today, this lecture is going to be discussed on Brecht and his theory of theatre. And while he is discussing his theory of theatre, two terms which are very important in discussing Brecht are coming automatically. One is alienation effect, and the second one is epic theatre. So in this lecture, I will specifically discuss these two notions given by Bertolt Brecht. So my name is Dayal Chakraborty and welcome to my channel Pegasus. The so-called debate between modernism on the one hand and Soviet realism on the other hand has literally ended in the hands of a German playwright, and he is Bertolt Brecht. He is a German playwright, and here we have to say that Brecht had no party affiliation at all. Even he was not a member of Communist Party. He just believed in Marxism. He left the Nazi Germany during the rule of Hitler. He was forced to leave Germany. He was in Russia for a time being, obviously during the time of Stalin, Joseph Stalin, and he was there. When he was in a long exile, he was writing some clearly didactic plays like Mother Courage and Her Children and others. You can see the plays here projected. In all these didactic plays, particularly which he has written during his exilement, Brecht has given his theories on theatre and his beliefs, his ideas on theatre had created a kind of path-breaking notions of innovation. Brecht is important today not for his content but for his form of theatre. And all his didactic plays in German language is called Lehrstücke, Lehrstuke. Together they are creating a new theory of theatre, which is very important to know Marxism as a literary theory. When we are discussing the theory of Bertolt Brecht on theatre, we should keep in mind that Brecht realized the revolutionary potential of theatre. He realized that theatre as a media, as a genre, can directly influence the audience, just unlike the poetry or fiction. Poetry and fiction we are reading all these things and we are thinking, critically thinking, just only thinking. But something which we are seeing on the stage can directly influence us, because both they have auditory influence and the visual influence, which are missing in fiction or in poetry. And this is a kind of revolutionary potential of the theatre which is realized by Brecht. And that's why Brecht discarded the Soviet socialist realism as illusion, because Soviet socialist realism was talking about a kind of formal unity of a genre of art. They celebrated it. That's why Brecht discarded the Soviet socialist realism as illusion. And he called his own theory of theatre as Anti-Aristotelian. Why? Aristotle, while he is giving his theory on dramatic art, He is particularly emphasizing two things. One is the universal and the unified structure of the tragic action. Another thing is catharsis, meaning the audience will absolutely associate themselves, they will totally identify themselves with the spectacle which they are seeing on the stage. They will try to associate themselves with the protagonist. As a result, empathetically, they will feel pity for them, they will feel fear for them, and after that catharsis will come. So, Aristotelian notion of theatre is based on some illusion, meaning Aristotelian notion of theatre lulls the audience into a state of illusion. But Brecht rejects this Aristotelian theory, because if you are in the mold of illusion, in the touch of illusion, you can never understand your reality. So if you want to know your reality, you have to be critical. That's why Brecht argues that this touch of illusion must be totally shattered by alienation effect. What is alienation effect and how it works? Illusion is all about Aristotelian notion of drama. Aristotelian theatre is all about successful illusion. But Brecht's alienation effect creates a kind of reality not by losing the audience into the spectacle which they are seeing, but by detaching them from the spectacle. Because when the audience are detaching their mind from the spectacle which they are seeing on the stage, a kind of critical thinking will go on parallelly in their mind. And this critical thinking is very much essential, because without that you cannot understand that what is shown you on the stage. You have to be critical on that, you have to be judgmental on that. Alienation effect is all about that. It detaches the audiences from the spectacle which is going on the stage, and thereby the audience can critically analyze what is shown to them, and they can realize what is the reality. Brecht argues theatre should not please the audience. Theatre must have to disturb the audience. The more theatre will disturb the audience, the more they will think. And without thinking what we are seeing on the stage, we cannot alter the society. If we want to alter the society, we have to think, we have to critically think. Theatre must have a socio-political role, and that's why Brecht is a typical Marxist. So Brecht is projecting his alienation theory, alienation effect, in two ways. On the one hand, the audience must have to detach themselves from the spectacle which they are seeing on the stage, right? First. And on the other hand, Brecht argues that there will be another type of alienation between the actors who are acting on the stage and their roles that they are performing. So two types of alienation must be there. One is the alienation between the audience and the spectacle, and the alienation between the actor and the role. And that's why Brecht was not at all a supporter of Stanislavskian method acting, because method acting is all about creating successful illusion, total identification. I know there are some famous and great artists, theatrical artists, who can create very similitude roles. When someone is acting Macbeth, for example, and he is creating a situation that the audience will feel that the man who is playing the role of Macbeth is not Mr. something X. Not at all. He is Macbeth. This is something what is created in the method acting given by Stanislavski. Brecht argues that on the one hand, alienation effect will save the audience, will protect the audience from becoming paralyze their critical thinking process. It will save them from that. And on the other hand, alienation effect will save the actor to be identified with their roles. How it will happen? The audience always must be conscious that they are watching a play, not a natural reality. And at the same time, the actors will never absolutely communicate, associate themselves with their roles which they are performing on the stage. They will always feel that, okay, I am Doyal and I am playing the role of Hamlet. This consciousness, this thinking will be there in their mind all the time. But Brecht argues this does not mean that they will be out of emotion while they are acting their roles. Not at all. They must have to play, they must have to act with emotion. But their acting must be of two types. One is, on the one hand, there will be kind of familiarization, on the other hand, there will be kind of defamiliarization. On the one hand, there will be kind of recognizable identity, and on the other hand, there will be kind of unfamiliarization. This will be the technique of the actors. Because parallelly, a critical thinking process must be there in the mind of the audience, in the mind of the actors as well. So, alienation effect of Brecht's theory is working in two ways. On the one hand, the audiences will be alienated from the spectacle so that they will critically think what they are seeing on the stage. And on the other hand, the actor will not totally identify themselves with the role. There must be a kind of detachment from their role so that the critical system, because it will disturb the audience. When in a regular interval, I am communicating with the audiences. I am speaking with them. And they are also speaking with us. As a result, the illusion will be set out. As a result, for example, another example I can give you. Suppose the three witches are appearing on the stage. They are not appearing on the stage through the trap door, right? The three witches are appearing on the stage from the audiences. It is as if they were sitting on the seats of the audiences, and when time came, they are appearing on the stage from the audiences, in the midst of the audiences. As a result, the audience will be shocked. And when they will be shocked, the illusion will be broken. This is how alienation effect acts. And when the actors are playing their roles, continuously they will try to realize the audience that, look, my name is Umuk and I am playing this role. So a distance between the actor and the role must be there. When we discuss the spirit of Brechtian theatre, we should keep in mind that the spirit of Brechtian theatre is akin to epic theatre. Because that famous quote, tragedy cannot portray the whole truth, but epic can. Because epic has a broad canvas. And this is the aim of Brecht as well. His aim is to portray the characters in action, the characters in motion, and through their action, he can portray the whole truth of life. Brecht was interested in portraying the activities of the actors, not their psychological happenings, not at all. If we look at the heroes of Brechtian play like Mother Courage, like Azdak, like Swek, they all are presenting a whole truth of life. They all are in action. Their activities are projected by Brecht in a whole truth. They are very much ordinary and tough. They are chosen from the daily life. They are showing their action, their struggle, but they have no cult of personality at all. So Brecht is preferring to present their external actions, not the internal happenings. Because their external actions will make the audience think. Brecht rejected the kind of formal unity in art which was admired by Soviet realism like George Lukács. They admired the formal unity in art. If we look at the epic theatre of Brecht, we can see that his plot is also composed of some loosely linked episodes, just like the modernist art, fragmented. Actually, Brecht was highly influenced by the modernist art and literature. He was influenced by the modernist techniques, cinematographic techniques like cut, jump cut, flashback, flash forward, montage, collage, etc. There are so many things which had influenced Brecht, and that's why he is a modernist. He is a modernist and he is unwelcome too. He was unwelcomed by the orthodox Marxist. He was unwelcomed in Russia as well. His plot is fragmented with an invisible thread like other modernists. And the thread, the audience, the readers have to find out. Actually, the debate between Marxism and modernism was ended in the hand of Brecht. Brecht believed that as a Marxist he was the critic of ideology, and as a modernist he was a supporter of the modernist art, modernist craft, modernist literature. So we can say that Brecht had resolved the debate between Marxism and modernism. But let me tell you honestly that I don't believe that this is a debate at all, because Marxism and modernism can go parallelly. Actually, the orthodox Marxists misunderstood the modernist art, modernist craft and literature. When we are discussing Brecht's concept of reality, actually to him reality is dynamic. Actually, Brecht's question is like that: can you claim that reality is static? The answer is no, because Karl Marx himself did not believe in the static view of reality. Not at all. Reality is not at all static. Actual Marxist is he or she who changes himself or herself, who changes the society with the change of the time, with the change of the space. So reality is dynamic. Reality is changing. Political reality is changing, social reality is changing, cultural reality is also changing. Brecht argues that we need to change our worn-out, hackneyed form. He demanded the ever-changing nature of the political reality. And to represent this ever-changing nature of political reality, we have to change the means of the representation. Meaning, our art, our literature must be changed. The techniques must be changed. The forms must be changed. And that's why, in order to go with this dynamic reality, Brecht is innovating a new form of theatre, that is epic theatre. And epic theatre will act with alienation effect. Thank you. If you feel that these videos are helpful to you, you can subscribe so that you can get the next notifications of the next videos. And if you take time and notify me in the comment box that whether these are helpful to you or not, it will give me a kind of encouragement to do the next video, right? So it will be very much helpful to me to be inspired